cart and like washing it like you did in the store. And I don't know why, but the animations was in it was just so like not creepy, but like it just didn't feel right. Like you know,
because it was a budget DS title, and my God, those were something.
And like one thing too was that like one thing you could pick their voices, and I just remember they made like really odd like grunting sounds all the time, and it was just like this is pretty weird.
Yeah.
I remember I picked like a turtle. You could pick like a turtle. And I picked it and I gave it the most like bizarre voice.
As you do.
And I dressed it up in the stupidest outfits. But it basically was like you made your character and then like you.
Hey guys, I'm Bill, also known as the Barbecue Games on Instagram.
And I'm Alex, his sister, who brings only chaos.
And together we are the Gaming and Collecting Podcast, a mostly video game centered podcast.
But half the time, we just talk about anime.
And that collecting thing, well, that's mostly just an implication at best.
So come along and enjoy us on this adventure
as we discuss the games that shaped us. So, how you been?
I've been stressed. I feel like Christmas time, like when you become old, just makes you stressed. Like it's not fun anymore. It's just stressful.
Oh, yeah, the magic dies.
The magic is dead, and Christmas is just a lot of work, and I just want it to be over.
Every year you get older, the more it just kind of like, we were talking at work today, and someone had mentioned Christmas is literally like, date when this episode was recorded, but Christmas is literally in a week.
Yeah. No, I'm like, the beginning of December felt like a yesterday. Like, but then again, like, I keep seeing all the memes of like, where it's like, January 2021, December 2021, it's like, and then in between, it's just like a Zoom or something, and it's honestly so true, or like a Blink, like it's like the Blink meme, where you're just like, oh, it's gonna be 2022. That's pretty bonkers.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So how was your week other than that?
Well, other than that, my week was pretty good. I had to drive down to a couple job sites, which was interesting, and then I had my company Christmas party today.
You guys are having one of those. That's cool.
Well, it's not even really a party. It's more just like a luncheon where it's basically they just served lunch. But
yeah, that's what we're getting this year.
But it's like kind of funny because like, so I think I've told you about this. Like, my office is like kind of a remote office to the main one. The main one's in Massachusetts, and then I'm in Connecticut with like 5 people, and that's it. And I just went there, and I was like, I don't know any of these people. So it was just so uncomfortable, and like the whole time I'm just like, I want to go home. But I had to be there because like it would be rude if I didn't show up. Because I didn't have like an excuse, or I didn't have any like religious excuse or anything like that. So I like had to go, and it was the most uncomfortable hour ever, and I wanted to leave from the beginning.
Yeah.
But
that was like my first Christmas party I had at Richards. I had only been there for like a week, and then it was like Christmas party. Yeah.
Well, the only good part was that my office is up in Mass, so when I went to Mass on the way back, I had to pass my favorite coffee place. So to make up for the awkward experience, I got myself a coffee from there, and I felt better. But well, it also was funny too, because like when my hair, like it's more red now, like I put it darker. And when I was there, I was still pretty blonde. Like I still had the orange blonde. So the people who did know me didn't even recognize me. Because like people don't like when you only see someone every once in a while, you kind of remember prominent features if you can't really remember the face. And so they were looking for orange blonde hair, but I don't have that anymore. So, yep.
Yeah. We had an audit this week, so that was fun.
Fun.
See, I always cringe at audits because audits are what got me fired from my first job.
Oh, really?
Well, not so much fired, more they used me as the scapegoat, but...
Well, that's not how
You
audits
know.
should be run. But unfortunately, you were in that situation where they were being assholes about it.
No, the company was sinking.
Yeah. And they had to... Yeah. That's a... Still,
Yeah.
You know what? You're better off, you know.
Well, am I?
Well... You know, well, the thing is, though, is that you're in a job that is a very valued
Oh,
field.
I know, I'm not...
And so you'll really, like, you'll be able to find a job super easily. Like, I'm
I know.
not worried. Like, you'll be able
I just
to
want to
find
get...
something.
I don't really want to have to worry about it till after the bullshit's over. That's my thing. But who knows when that's going to end. So.
Will it end? I have no idea at this point.
Yeah, we'll probably implode before then.
Oh, no. No imploding.
The world's probably just gonna... The world's gonna be like, I have had enough of you people. I'm going to implode now. Bye.
Well, to make it on a happier note, have you been watching any anime recently?
Well, I mean, besides Yashahime, I've been following that. Do you count Ruby? That's not really an anime.
No, it's in the same, like, spectrum.
I just watched the second season, so...
How was it? Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it picks up around season 3. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's when the episodes actually kind of feel like episodes and not just one long movie.
Ah, I see.
But, other than that, game collecting update.
Oh.
I got some joking stuff. I got Yoshi Touch and Go for the DS.
Oh, fun.
I always remembered this game when it was like first like showing off, but I never bought it or played it. Some guy was selling it online for like $10. I was like, yeah, I'll finally get that. And then I got Mario Party Advance. Because they made one of these for the Game Boy Advance. I've heard it sucks, but...
I feel like Mario Party on a mobile device just...
No. Mario Party DS is a fucking hidden gem.
Oh, it is? Okay.
I got that at Retro World. It is fucking really good.
Well, I have a collecting update.
Oh, but one more.
Oh, okay.
And then I got Yoshi Topsy Turvy for the Game Boy Advance. And this one is cool because it has a motion control sensor in it, so you can actually tilt the Game Boy around for gameplay.
That's pretty neat.
I've heard it's pretty good, so I'll get around to that eventually. Just filling out the Yoshi collection now.
Yeah. It's pretty...
So what was your collecting update?
So I bought a One Piece movie.
Oh, good.
But I think they might have put a mistake on like Amazon. So I bought it on Amazon. It was One Piece Strong World, and it's a Blu-ray. And I only paid like $15 for it. And like I looked back today and I was like, it seems a little weird that like the Blu-ray was so cheap. And I think they messed up inputting the prices because I think the DVD was $30. So I think they put the price in wrong.
It's a Region 1, right? Region A, right?
What does that mean?
A US Blu-ray?
I guess. I don't know. I got it.
Did it work? Did it work in your Blu-ray player?
I haven't watched it yet.
You might want to check that because Blu-ray players aren't region free.
Oh, well, shit. Well, hopefully, I think it will be fine. All the reviews were from like Massachusetts, so I mean not Massachusetts, but like the United States. So
okay. See, I'm kind of wary when buying certain things on Amazon because a lot of times Amazon will send you like imports for no reason.
Well, now I'm really curious. Hold on one sec. I need to grab it. Hold on. Make some.
No, because I was trying to find. Oh, you have to check.
No.
Show me the front. Show me the front of the case.
Well, I'm scared. How will you know if it's not American?
Let me see the case. I can't tell from the top. You have to show me the bottom.
The bottom?
Higher. No, the bottom of the art.
Oh.
I need to see the bottom of the art.
But there's nothing there.
There's no little like 18 like graphic on it anywhere.
It says Funimation.
Does it?
It has a TV 14 on it.
Yeah, that's probably fine then.
And it says FBI warning.
Yeah, that's probably fine. No, so usually the I know European ones have kind of like this, like there's like a little number like marking down on the bottom.
Let me. I think it's American. It says the FBI on it, so you know.
It's. I didn't see any of the things that usually like PAL region stuff has, so it should be fine.
Ooh, there's also. Oh, it also has the DVD. Oh, well, I'm all set either way because it also has the DVD copy in it too.
Oh, that looks fine.
Yeah.
Well, I just know because I was trying to buy Full Metal Alchemist on Blu-ray, and my God, finding an American copy of that is not easy.
No.
No, I couldn't find it. Amazon didn't have it for cheap, so I had to buy a copy off of eBay.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not a big deal. It's mostly just for collecting purposes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the whole series is on Hulu.
Well, now I'm like,
Funimation.
I'm still real confused why this was only like $12. Like,
some of the movies aren't worth a lot. Because you can get the Inuyasha 4-pack for like $10, I think. It's not that expensive.
well, usually the One Piece ones are pretty expensive. And I know this one was recently re-released too, so, like, it had a theatrical re-release, so.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's why I was surprised, but, you know. Oh well, I still got it pretty cheap, so I won.
Are you
watched
drinking
it.
anything?
I'm drinking some water.
Oh.
I'm staying.
How healthy are
Well,
you?
tomorrow we're going to a ugly sweater party, so I'd probably
That
be
is true.
drinking alcohol then. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna hold back. But I'm also hoping I can go because I guess we're getting snow tomorrow.
I don't believe it till I see it.
Well, at least in Connecticut, they said, I think Connecticut, it might be worse than Mass.
Like I said, New England, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. It just depends. It depends. I mean, I'm hoping that, we're clear and that it's all good.
We'll see.
But who knows? Saturday storm could drop half a foot of snow on parts of New England. No!
Wait till it happens.
Yeah, no. So I'll see. I mean, so I'm hoping to go tomorrow, but we'll have to see. If not,
Yeah.
you'll have to send my regards. My regards.
I'm drinking a wonderful Newcastle Brown Ale.
Oh, nice. Is that a beer?
Yeah, it's my favorite beer.
You know what my favorite beer is?
Nothing, you don't drink beer?
Exactly. Well, I did like Guinness when I was in Japan.
Well, Guinness is like... No, that's a stout, though, and that's a...
Yeah, true.
And Guinness doesn't count, because Guinness is like its own magical thing. But anyways...
Yeah, I didn't get any of that. You froze completely.
Well, you froze too, so I didn't hear a word.
Well,
All I said was Guinness is a magical beer.
oh. Well, I'd just say that I only like beer if I've had, like, maybe, like, 6 of them. And then I think it's fine. But also, I'm drunk by then, so that's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm sober, it tastes like gross. But
Yeah.
But
Well,
wow, we did
anyways.
12 minutes of filler in there. Wow. Oh wait, I didn't say what I'm watching. Guess.
Okay.
Take a guess.
Well, I saw One Piece episodes got released.
Oh. Yeah, so I started watching the sub.
Of course you did.
I think I'm on like episode 800 or something.
Well,
I'm
you can go back and rewatch your dubbed episodes because they just got released.
Yeah, that's my plan. Once I catch up to the current, so once I get into the thousands, I'll be all set.
Yeah. Did you see the Cowboy Bebop thing got canceled after not even a season?
Oh, the Netflix one? Yeah, because
Yeah.
well, especially, like, I was reading about that, and I guess, like, they were trying to separate themselves from the anime as far as they could, and I'm just like, what's the point? You're making a show based off an anime. Don't separate yourself from the, like, and you know what's, like, kind of sad is that, like, I feel like Cowboy Bebop, like, could have worked for a live action. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like it's, like, Attack on Titan or, like, Dragon Ball, where there's, like...
I thought the designs actually were pretty good, too.
Yeah. Like, it's just, like, why? It could have worked. Like, it's not like you chose something that, like, would not work at all.
Did you see they're doing an Avatar Netflix series now, too?
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Netflix has been bopping out. Netflix.
Well, because they have to, because they got freaking everything they had got taken from them.
Yeah, true. Well,
because we went from having one go-to streaming service to having 40 go-to streaming services.
No,
now.
that's true. Well, there is some really good ones on there, though. Like, there is some very good ones. Like, Agretzko is really good.
Yeah.
That's the one with the little...
I know.
That one's really good.
You mentioned it every time.
I do. Well, yeah, it's because it's a good one. And then they're also doing JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, they're doing JoJo's Stone Ocean.
Yeah, I know, because they got the exclusive rights to it or whatever.
Yeah. I'm waiting to watch it. I'm waiting to watch it, like, when it comes out. Well, I guess, so I was talking to my friend, and he said that they kind of did, like, a two-parter situation. So I'm, like, waiting to watch it until, like, the second part. Kind of like what they did with Attack on Titan.
Gotcha.
Where they did it two-part. So I'm waiting for both the parts to be out, and then I'm gonna binge it and watch it. But
sounds smart.
There's actually a lot of animes on Netflix, like original animes, like animes that were made. It's interesting. Huh.
Yes, it is.
But anyways, our topic for today,
which is also kind of bullshit. So we're talking about probably one of the most controversial subgenres in video game history.
Yes.
The license game. And license games are kind of an interesting thing nowadays because they've kind of died out.
Yeah.
Because you don't see them nearly as much, and I guess most people probably know, but for anyone who doesn't know, a license game is, you would say, a video game adaptation based off of a licensed product. So, say, a game based off of Avatar, for example,
or
would be a licensed game.
The M&Ms.
Yeah, they have had some games themselves.
M&Ms.
Or anything, really.
Adventure.
Or any
for the DS.
Anything that has a adaptation. Because back in the day, these things were everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, hell, going back to superhero games on the frickin' Atari 2600.
Yeah, those are technically licensed games.
So for this list, we're going to kind of go over some of the ones we have distinct memories of. We're not going to do it really in order. We're going to just kind of be random.
Yep.
Go back to our roots a little bit here. Although one exception is I think we're going to keep anime-based games out of this for now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of those, and they could honestly be their own topic. So.
Yep.
Do you want to start, or should I bring one up?
I know one to start.
Okay.
So I had many a licensed game.
We both did.
Oh yeah, we both did, but I feel like I had a lot more than the majority of my games were licensed games. And one I have very definitive memories of was Build-A-Bear Workshop on the Nintendo DS.
I wonder. So, Build-A-Bear Workshop itself is a relic of the past.
They're still there.
They are, but they've kind of consolidated to certain areas again.
Yeah, no, it's not a huge brand, but
No, it's not like the phenomenon
I
it
don't
was
even
for, like...
think it was in the heart of Build-A-Bear. It definitely wasn't. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, I thought I lost you for a second. But one of the things, like, about this game that was so bizarre was, well, it let you do the whole process of, like, picking out your bear, but then you could also, like, do the process of, like, stuffing it and, like, picking a heart and, like, washing it like you did in the store. And I don't know why, but the animations was in it was just so, like, not creepy, but, like, it just didn't feel right. Like, you know,
because it was a budget DS title, and my god, those were something.
And, like, one thing, too, was that, like, one thing you could pick their voices. And I just remember they made, like, really odd, like, grunting sounds all the time. And it was just, like, this is pretty weird.
Yeah.
I remember I picked, like, a turtle. You could pick, like, a turtle. And I picked it, and I gave it the most, like, bizarre voice.
As you do.
And I dressed it up in the stupidest outfits. But it basically was like you made your character, and then, like, you basically played mini games with it. And I don't remember all the mini games, but one of the mini games I remember the most was this, like, cooking game where you could, like, cook things. And it was basically just you, like, point and clicked, like, you just dragged and dropped the food. Like, they were barely games.
So, basically it was trying to give you the authentic Build-A-Bear experience on a handheld, and then they realized that's not enough for a retail game, so they threw in a bunch of mini games.
Yes. But
that sounds about right.
But I remember, like,
I think you played that one for a grand total of a day.
I played this game a ton.
Did you? Okay.
I did. For some reason, I played it a lot. I don't know why.
You did play a lot of Happy Home Designer.
I did. But for some reason, like, I played this game a lot. I don't know why I did, but, like, I did.
Yeah.
But 10 out of 10 bad game. 10 out of 10 for the bad score.
Okay.
It was
so
pretty
that's
trash.
So we'll put that one in the bad pile.
In the trash pile.
To counter, I want to talk about from our childhood a licensed game that would be firmly in the good category, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Bugs Bunny Lost in Time?
Oh, hell yeah!
So the PlayStation, the Game Boy, like, handhelds were like a haven for shitty licensed games.
Yep.
Consoles had, especially in the olden eras, had a good handful of them as well. Mm-hmm. And the PlayStation in particular had a bunch, but the PlayStation also had a bunch of really good ones.
Yep.
And one of those was definitely Bugs Bunny Lost in Time for the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. Developed by Behavior Entertainment.
Yep.
Who would later be known as Artificial Mind and Movement.
Yes.
Before going back to Behavior Entertainment, because they realized their acronym of A2M stood for something else.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah. But Bugs Bunny Lost in Time was a pretty cool... it's like a platforming game where you play as Bugs, and you're kind of traveling through different time periods because he found this time machine in a shack on his way to Albuquerque or something, or wherever he was going. And you have to kind of go through levels and, like, collect, like, clocks and golden bananas to move on. And I mean, it's not like it's not the greatest platform ever made, but it's solid enough. It plays good. Good sense of humor. Especially if you like Warner Brothers humor. Mm-hmm. And I remember just playing the hell out of it because, like, it full voiced. Graphics were passable for PlayStation standards. Soundtrack was fun. Probably I'd say this one was probably I'd give it an 8 out of 10 good game.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but not bad either. It had a sequel too that was kind of like about, like, Bugs in the Tasmanian Devil, but I've never played that one. Now, do you want to do a game?
Sure. So my next one that I also have very distinct memories of, and this one was actually pretty good. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember the show, but it was on Cartoon Network, and it was called Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. Do you remember that?
Is it bad that show reminds me of Panty and Stocking?
No, it does. It's very Panty and Stocking-esque. But basically, I believe it was like this rock. They were like this singer
Yeah.
and rock duo. And it basically was following them, and they'd like perform and stuff. But I remember it was a Game Boy Advance game, and it was like a platformer. I'm pretty certain. And it was developed by, who is it developed by? It doesn't say.
It's also kind of funny, though, just how many of these games were platformers.
Oh yeah, I remember though this one was like, it was pretty decent. Like I actually like got pretty far in it. So I had a pretty good time playing it. But it was like a platformer, and I believe it also had some like quick time events. Not quick time, but like almost Guitar Hero-esque like timing, like
Oh,
press-
rhythm
rhythm
Yeah.
game. That's it. Not quick time, rhythm game. And you know what? It was pretty fun. Like they played the music that was from the show in it, like with the Game Boy Advance,
Yeah.
obviously capabilities. But it was pretty fun, and it was a very decent looking game as well. Like
Said it was Game Boy Advance.
yeah, like Game Boy Advance. It was pretty decent looking. And I had a pretty good time with it. Like you could play, and I believe the whole story around it was like your manager got kidnapped, so they had to go like save him.
Okay.
And that was the whole presence of the game, was you gotta go save. And I think like they played like,
Oh, wow. It doesn't even have a Wikipedia article.
no, it doesn't. It was very well. I feel like that show disappeared.
Oh, it was made by Ultron.
Ultron. Okay.
Ultron made so many freaking Game Boy Advance games. They were like the Walmart brand, like Vicarious Visions of the Game Boy. Like they made the Vicarious Visions made like all sorts, like they did like the Crash ports, the Tony Hawk ports for Game Boy Advance, and they were all solid ports. Ultron did like everything else, I swear. Because Ultron also did those. Actually, Ultron did not, this isn't a licensed game, but they did Pocky and Rocky with Becky, which is a phenomenal shoot 'em up game on the Game Boy Advance.
Nice. Yeah. But I'd say like this was a pretty solid game, and I think the show was pretty solid too. I just think it was so kind of out there and different. Like honestly, I feel like
That was Cartoon Network, right?
it was Cartoon Network, but I also feel like if this show came out like during present day, I feel like it would have had a lot more success, just with how the whole culture has changed.
Well, yeah, because
Where
that came out before.
Yeah, it came out before like anime was pretty like cool
Well, then
now.
it also came out. It also came out before Cartoon Network just became Stoner TV.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like this would do so, like, it would have done really well, like, if it came out kind of during that era of, like, kind of stoner TV era. So it's kind of a shame, but definitely a fun little Game Boy Advance game. I think I either beat it or I got pretty far in it. But yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Now, I want to go through a couple more. Like, now we've already in previous episodes we've talked about like the SpongeBob games. We've talked about
Yeah.
a bunch of the Disney games that came out on PlayStation. Did we talk about 102 Dalmatians?
No, we didn't.
So, 102 Dalmatians is probably one of the more fascinating like licensed games, because this was one of the ones we had as kids and we played the ever loving hell out of.
Yeah.
I actually have I have the Dreamcast port now because our PlayStation copy was used so much it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, no.
Like it skips really bad and freezes all the time.
Yeah.
So I actually bought the superior Dreamcast port just because. But yeah, so that was a 3D platformer developed by. So the game says it was developed by Crystal Dynamics, but apparently it was actually developed by Toys for Bob.
Okay.
The company that did the Spyro
Yep.
remastered trilogy, and they did Crash 4.
Nice.
But it is a very solid 3D platformer.
Huh.
And it features, so it's like it's level. Excuse me. It's level based, and it features like
You're not
semi-open.
excused.
It features like semi-open levels.
Yep.
And it was a tie-in to. Do you remember the 102 Dalmatians like live action film?
Oh yeah. Yep.
It was a quote unquote tie-in because this movie has this game has like borderline nothing to do with that movie.
It was marketing. It was a marketing tie-in.
Aside from a few characters. Oh, and it hyped up because the main dog Domino was voiced by Frankie Muniz back when he was relevant. But yeah, we played the hell out of this one because I think we finished it. It was one of those ones we actually managed to finish. But anyways, guys.
I was just gonna say.
Were you gonna?
I was just gonna say. I remember like playing that. Like we played that a lot together. I mean, I didn't play, but I remember watching it. And didn't it have like this like clown or like circus area in it?
That was one stage.
I just have distinct memories of that, and I think it gave me nightmares. I think anything clown related as a child freaked me out and gave me nightmares.
See, I always remember because it had the three henchmen. Well, it had the two main henchmen from the cartoon series. Because the game's very much based off the cartoon series, but it incorporates elements from the movie as well.
Yep.
And they had the third henchman who was like the one with like the cheetah print. I think his name was like Lapelt or something. And there's one level where you have to like trick him into like getting stuck in a tree trunk.
Oh, okay.
But he doesn't get incapacitated. Instead, he just wanders around the level now in the tree trunk, and he's still a hazard. I always remember that one for some reason.
That's so funny. I don't remember that, but maybe I do. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember that. That was pretty.
I replayed it recently. It holds up really well.
Oh, nice.
Especially in the Dreamcast, where it's like super clean looking.
Oh, nice.
But anyways, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Woo! Break time.
Yeah. And we're back.
We are back.
Yeah. So, did you give off the last one, or was it me?
What did we talk about? We talked about 102 Dalmatians. So
Yeah. Okay. So, what you're next?
So my next one was a iconic game. So iconic because it was so unplayable, and that was Bratz the movie, the game, and.
Now, was that based off the Rock Angels movie, or?
No, actually. So at first I thought it was, but I think the Rock.
Oh no, I'm thinking
Rock
of the.
Angels,
I'm thinking of.
What there was a
that was
computer
the PC
game. Yeah, there was a computer game, but also the Rock Angels one was actually on the N6. Not that it was on the GameCube.
Gotcha. And probably PlayStation.
Yeah. So, this game was so horrendous. It was unplayable. Like you just like couldn't do anything, and also the character designs are horrifying. They're horrifying. They're terrifying. But one of the biggest features of it was that you could skate.
Yeah, you had to use the motion controls for everything.
You had to, so it basically took all the motion controls and it made them even, like, it just made it even worse. It was the worst thing ever. Like, and then imagine you're skating with these horrible motion controls and you couldn't do anything. Like I'd try and I think go into doors or something to go into buildings, and I couldn't even get myself into the hitbox to open just the door, to just do something.
Yeah.
It was impossible, and it also gave you no direction. You had no idea what to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's just nothing, so you just had to run around, and then by the time you're just why the hell am I still doing this? And then you just dropped it.
I remember you had this smoothie mini game where you just made smoothies. Like, that's like the one thing I
yeah.
remember from that game.
Let me smoothie. I think that's the only thing I could figure out how to do.
I think that's as far as you got before you rage quit.
Let's see. Smoothie. See, you know what? I can't even find a picture because why would anyone want to relive this horrible game?
I think Cat Icarus actually reviewed it. I think that's one
Oh,
of the
he
reasons I can
did?
remember.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was the smoothie guy. His name was like whatever.
His name was No One Cares.
I don't give a fuck to look that up.
We don't need to know. We don't need to get into Brat's lore.
Yeah, no, I don't. Oh my god, though, like if you should look up the characters, like because
Oh, I remember vividly because they were not pleasant.
no, they were so bad. Like you can just tell this was made to play once and never again.
It was made
Oh.
for a pay. It was made to get a paycheck.
Yeah, it was made because Mattel said we need. Oh, is it Mattel? Is Mattel? Oh,
No, I think Mattel's Barbie.
it was E for everyone. It actually has 4.5 stars on Amazon. What the hell? Am I playing?
You can't trust. You can't trust Amazon reviews. Amazon
True.
reviews are so friggin' shit. They're not even funny.
True. I think another feature too was like the classic girls game. I feel like every girls game out there had this, but it was like to dress up your character. That's,
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's like a staple of Flash games.
yeah, no, true. But I feel like it was like a
So-
makeup and dress up, but 10 out of 10, also horrible game.
Okay, so 10 out of 10 on the bad scale. Oh, and also for 102 Dalmatians, that was a 9 out of 10 on the good scale
9 out of 10?
But,
Oh, yep.
for that. But my next game, so this one is special to me for a lot of reasons. So not every licensed game, believe it or not, is for kids.
Oh, no.
Some of them are more adult-oriented or at least teenager-oriented.
Yep.
And one of my favorite licensed games I think I've ever played, which is funny because I'm not even a big fan of the thing it's based off of, but it's the X-Files game on PlayStation.
Oh.
And for anyone who has never played the X-Files game, it is a full-motion video game, like FMV video, interactive, like kind of like story. I guess the American equivalent of a visual novel, you could say. And you basically, it's a side story that's quote-unquote canon to the show, but it's never referenced in the show. But you play as an FBI agent who's looking for the main characters of the X-Files, Mulder and Scully. You're basically searching for them.
Yep.
And it is the most wackiest, like, bizarre, like, FMV game you'll ever play.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it tries to be serious, but the acting is so cheesy at times. But it is, like, the best full motion video cheese. Like, you'll be playing, like, levels and stuff, and, like, because you're an FBI agent, you have a gun, because you have to use that occasionally for, like, firefights. But in cutscenes, you can literally, like, pull the gun out on anybody.
Yep.
And whenever you point the gun at somebody, the characters will literally, in the most monotone voice, just be like, "Don't do that."
Don't do that.
Or if you pointed at like a woman, like a woman or a kid or something, like your partner would be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Oh.
It's like the most stupid shit. Oh, you can kill yourself in the game too. If like your
Huh.
character's on screen during a cutscene, you can shoot yourself in the cutscene,
Nice.
and a suicide letter pops up.
Oh, Jesus.
It's so fucking wacky, and there's so many ways to die in the game from for making wrong choices.
Oh, my goodness.
If you love FMV, like if you love cheesy FMV games, it is amazing.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like I got that for $5 on Amazon years ago, and I was playing the shit out of it. It's so good.
Nice.
So which one do you want to talk about next? Oh, 8 out of 10 on the good scale.
8 out of 10 on the good scale? Alright. I'd say my next one was Hannah Montana Music Jam. And,
Does that date us?
a little, yeah. Quite a bit, I would say. And I remember I didn't beat this game once. I think I beat it like 10 times because it wasn't a very hard game. It was basically just like a rhythm game. So, like the title says, it's music jam. So I think the whole story behind it was that like Hannah Montana needed to learn a bunch of instruments. So you basically just like play a bunch of instruments. So I think it starts you off with the bass guitar, and it's basically like a Guitar Hero-esque rhythm game where you press certain buttons on the keyboard, keyboard on the D-pad and the pad as well. It was basically just like pressing that, but it also had some other things too. I believe it had like a dress-up game because and it also had like you had to do like certain. I think it also had like a story mode where you had to like follow a story, and it put you through multiple concerts. But one I remember distinctly was like on the set of like a zombie film. So at one point, it was you had to dress your character up as a zombie. So it was Hannah Montana zombie. And I just remember playing it, and I'm just like, wow, if I was like 5, I'd be a little scared right now.
Yeah.
And then another thing I remember too was that there was like another mini game was like you had to do this racing toy car game, and you had to like basically do a race, and it was very easy to do.
Hold it for 1 second.
Okay.
You notice how every license game they never seem to know what they want to be, so they just throw in a bunch of different genres and just see what sticks.
Yeah, they just throw in a bunch of mini games together basically, and
pretty much
that's what this was.
If they're not just being a platformer, they like throw so many mini games out, and it's like they're not good.
Well, I will say this one I actually had a pretty good time playing. Now
the question is, if you played it now, would you have the same feeling?
Well, I think if I played it now, I might even have an easier time beating it.
Oh, probably.
I would probably have a much easier time beating it, but I would say, like, I don't think it would be, like, a 10 out of 10 game, but I wouldn't give it, like, 10 out of 10 on the scale. Like, I'd give it, like, a 4 out of 10 on, like, the good scale. Like, it's not, like, halfway there, but, like, it's not horrible. Like, it was fun. I mean, for the whole fact that, like, Hannah Montana was a zombie in it, that's pretty hilarious, so...
Oh, so speaking of zombies, I was just thinking of one of the greatest, most bizarre licensed games ever made.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good game. It's a really good game. Like, it's a side-scrolling action beat-em-up-ish kind of game, I want to say. But it's like you're just kind of going through stages, and you have to like rescue children. Let's leave the out of it for now, but talk about the game itself. But
his little monkey is in it too, right? Didn't he have like a pet monkey?
It's Bobo, his monkey. Or I think that's his name, but I just love that game because it has like all the his like hit songs like digitized in the Genesis sound.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Oh.
But I laughed too hard and inhaled something.
Oh,
but,
no, don't do that.
But it's just, once you get it, it's a simple game, but when you get into it, it's just really fun for no reason. It's like, it's perfect Genesis era, like, just like action.
Yeah, it's just perfect Genesis level action, but also comedy. Oh, also, isn't there like a special move where he can become like he comes like a robot? Like
yeah, he turns into Mecha Jackson.
I remember seeing that and just like...
Oh, because, the first level is Smooth Criminal, and it's like the whole like level, it's like do 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 in that Genesis sound.
Yep. That's so silly.
There's like one level where it's like the background music's literally just Billie Jean the whole time. It shouldn't be as fun as it is, but it's a surprisingly fun game. I'll give it like a 6 out of 10 on the good scale.
Oh, I remember another thing that'd probably be considered problematic nowadays too is that wasn't one of your enemies dogs and you just kick them? Wasn't like
Yeah,
there's so much that game is so problematic.
Look, I'm playing The Last of Us Part 2 right now.
Yep.
As part of a bet because I said I would.
Yep.
There's points in that game where like dogs come after you and like you have like no choice but to shoot them.
Oh, I
so
hate
I mean,
that
it's
game.
still a thing
I hate
nowadays.
It. 0 out of 10.
It's just I mean, in a post-apocalyptic world, it's all about survival.
I know, but look at my cute little baby. She's so cute. How could I? No.
Well, that's a cat.
It's still a little animal that I love.
True, but cats and dogs are very different animals.
Yeah,
the cat wouldn't even be bothered.
True. Yeah, the cat would just do its own thing.
The cat would be like, I don't have time for this, and just walk off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Definitely a product of its time, that's for sure.
Yeah. I guess my next one would be, they were actually, like, a series. I don't know. I guess you could consider. They're in, like, the garbage category of licensed games, so I would go with it. But they were. On the DS, they had these series of games called, like, the Imagine series. And I had 2 of them. I had Imagine Interior Designer and Imagine Movie Star. And they were basically these, like, games that... It was basically just, like, really cheaply made crap. Like, they were crap. So it's basically in the same category as licensed games.
Yes.
And, like, I am looking back at the pictures of it, and this game, the Interior Designer game, was just butt ugly. Like, it didn't matter what
I thought you were just gonna say this game was just butt.
It was just butt. It was ugly. Like, it just looked bad. And I remember the whole plot of it was like you were an interior designer and you had clients and you basically had to like design you had to design like rooms and stuff and like furniture too. Like I remember one mini game you had to like it actually was like a pottery one where you actually had to like make pottery. I just remember making the ugliest pottery ever, like, because it was so janky, you couldn't get it to, like, look nice. And I also
the DS tried a lot of things that did not work.
Yeah, but I just remember, like, you'd have to make things, like, you know how, like, games, like, it gives you certain categories, so you have to make it, and the categories it'd give you would just be, like, so ugly together, and you just have to make it, and it would be ugly. It was horrible. But I remember, like, I think I played that for a week, and then I was like, alright, this sucks. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then the other one I had was Imagine Movie Star, and you basically had to... It was basically a bunch of shitty mini games. I think it was only, like, 3, honestly. So it was, like, a rhythm game, where... like a lot of these, I had a lot of rhythm games. There was a rhythm game where your person had to, like, dance and stuff. And then there was you had to, like, design outfits, but they had to meet, like, a certain criteria. So
Gotcha.
It was another one of those games where, like, you probably had your character in, like, the ugliest outfit there ever was. And then,
yes.
And then I believe there was, like, another one where you had to, like, pose. It was, like, a posing game. And that was, like, a quick time game where you had to like meet the stars, but the character models in these games were like take the Sims and then like the original Sims game and then minus it like by like 100, downgrade it like 100,
nice,
and put it on a Wii game on a DS game. And yeah, and it also was another game that really took that unachievable body standards and really puts it on display for young kids. So, unachievable Kardashian body standards that just aren't realistic. So, there's really nothing good about that game. Like, it just...
So, like, any beauty game, basically.
Yeah, honestly. So, it's just 10 out of 10. You know what? 10? Just 100 out of 10. Horrible game.
Did you ever play the Project Runway game?
I don't think I had that.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I just feel like that game would be garbage.
I bet it was.
So, moving on now. So licensed games have been around forever, as we've put out.
Mm-hmm.
But one subgenre of licensed game that's always been fascinating for how inconsistent it is the superhero game.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
Or the comic book game, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Because, my God, what a ride those games have had over the years.
Yep.
So, I guess if we're going to go by the big three, in my opinion, for game adaptions,
Mm-hmm.
which would be, in my opinion, Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman.
Yep.
Superman's had a very miserable time.
Yes, he has. Poor Superman.
So, on my Instagram blog recently, I did a marathon of all the Superman games I own.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, they are... It is the most inconsistent trip you'll ever go on.
Yep.
Because it's like I played the NES game, which is this incredibly bad platformer, which gets into the stock market at one point, and like,
Mm-hmm.
it controls like ass. There was a Genesis game that was average.
Yep.
Everyone says it's garbage. I thought it was just kind of meh. There's a beat 'em up on the Super Nintendo, which is really good, that no one ever talks about. Then there's obviously Superman 64, enough said.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one on the GameCube and PlayStation 2 based off the animated series that was decent. And then there's this one on the Xbox, which is an utter dumpster fire.
Oh, no.
Like, it's worse than 64, but nobody talks about it, in
Oh,
my
no.
opinion.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, Batman, on the other hand, had like a very up and down like video game history, like where he's had really good games, like the NES game, some of the Super Nintendo ones. His PlayStation era wasn't very good. We won't talk about that.
Oh, no.
PS2 games were hit or miss. Dark Tomorrow was a hunk of garbage. But then he came out with the Arkham series,
Yep.
which are some of the best video games ever made.
Huh.
So, and then Spider-Man has had one of the most, probably the best video game careers, because most of his games have at least been decent.
Yeah. Huh.
And
Spider-Man lucked out.
And Spider-Man PS4 is considered one of the best games to come out in the last generation. So,
Oh, wow. So, Spider-Man's
Granted,
killing it.
granted, it was made by Insomniac Games, but that's beside the point. But yeah, so before I move on to my next topic, any other game you want to talk about?
I'm like
Or-
trying to think, like, because I know I had some, like, more, but I don't know if I just, like, block them out from my brain for some. I don't.
Well, I mean, we could always talk about some of the PS2 games that we had.
Oh, yes. Let's do that.
So, I mean, one of them that I always remember is, do you remember the Finding Nemo game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have one. I have one for the PS3, but,
PS3? Oh, okay, I think I know where we're going here.
yep. But you talk about Finding Nemo.
Alright. So, the Finding Nemo game... Yeah. The Finding Nemo game is... I think it was made by Traveler's Tales of all studios, but,
Mhm.
Oh, God. It is like a side-scroller swimming action game. And it's like mission level-based, where like each level has an objective that you have to pass. It's okay, I guess you can say. But what kills it is the load times, which are horrendous, and it just makes the game a miserable experience.
Oh, no.
Well, because it's like every 3 minutes you're like
Low.
a Sonic 06 level like load time.
Low screen. Oh, no.
Like, oh man, and it's funny because it was made by Traveler's Tales, the same people who made Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex, which had horrendous load times as well
Oh, no.
for its original release. And I love Traveler's Tale because they've made some amazing games, but they've also made some utter garbage.
Yep.
Alright, so what game did you want to talk about?
I'm just gonna talk about Surf's Up for the PlayStation 3.
Okay, so I thought you were going to talk about Cars because I was about to defend that game.
Oh no, I don't think I had that. I had Surf's Up.
No, you had the Mater game.
Oh, I did. I don't know if
Yeah,
I
because you
played
just
it.
drove around. I remember because you drove around into walls and then you never played it again.
I think that was like, oh, I could talk about that, but a little bit. But because I'm remembering now. But I was talking about Surf's Up.
I forgot you. I forgot about that movie in general, but I forgot you had it.
It was such a forgettable movie. I actually think it was pretty decent. It was made
That was
by...
about it was about the surfing penguins, right?
Yeah, the surfing penguins. It was also I didn't realize it was made by Ubisoft. I didn't realize that.
The game?
Yeah, it was made by Ubisoft. I believe it says their Montreal office.
Ubisoft Montreal made that.
What? You froze. Oh no.
What the hell? Yeah, well, I got up in arms because Ubisoft Montreal is like the Assassin's Creed studio.
That's the developer. It's Ubisoft Montreal.
Oh yeah, so the studio behind Prince of Persia, freaking Assassin's Creed.
It Surf's Up.
Oh no, well Ubisoft's made some wicked garbo over the years, but
I remember I played it and like I actually remember the graphics looked pretty decent. Like it was a pretty good looking game. Because I feel like water graphics aren't like it either looks good or it looks bad, and I thought the water was pretty decent.
Well, that was an early PS3 game too.
Yeah, it was an early PS3 game, and I felt like, well, it's funny because I'm actually looking at I'm on Metacritic right now, and I'm looking at reviews, and it's actually kind of funny, but I feel like this review by some guy named Greg. It was like they said it was their attempt to copy Tony Hawk, like Pro Skater games, and I think that's the best way to describe it. Like it's just like a surfing game, but like a skateboarding game, but it's surfing and it's penguins for kids.
I didn't realize the main character's name was Cody Maverick.
That was the main character's name. I don't remember anything about this.
Well, I'm on the Wikipedia page, and I noticed that they got all the actual voice actors from the movie.
Yeah.
So they got Shia LaBeouf to play his character.
Oh yeah,
Cody Maverick.
Cody Maverick.
What a name! What a name!
I don't think it was that horrible of a game though. Like
did you see the movie? Because I don't remember the movie.
I don't think that's the thing. It's like I think Mom got it for me, and I don't think we ever saw that movie. I don't think I owned it.
Yeah, this wasn't even.
I have any recollection of that movie.
It wasn't even made by it obviously wasn't Pixar, and it also isn't DreamWorks. It's Sony made it.
Oh, it was like one of Sony's original.
Okay, that's hilarious because Sony made it, but it was released for every console imaginable.
Oh, I thought you meant like the studio. Who made what made Surf's Up?
No, it was made. The movie was made by Sony.
Oh, like Sony in general?
Yeah, Sony Pictures.
Oh, Sony Pictures. Well, they made a couple. I don't know what. I'm looking. They didn't make the Minion stuff, right? Oh, they made the Hotel Transylvania movies.
Oh, it got a sequel.
What?
There's a Surf's Up 2?
I feel like that went direct to movie. Oh, they also made
John Cena. Starring John Cena.
All right. Well, I have to say though, I have to immediately dock Sony's movie making down to 0 because they made the Emoji Movie, and that's just bad. They made the Angry Birds movies, though. Okay, so I give them a 10 again. Those are pretty fun movies, as we discussed previously. Wow,
I like how you went from they made the Emoji movies, they're trash, but they made Angry Birds.
Those are good movies. I will say, ew, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, they made the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie too.
Yeah, they did make that, and that is very amazing. They also made 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler.
Oh boy.
Also, just please look up. Just type in Sony Early Bloomer. Just type that in.
Do I want to?
Just do it, and look at the images.
This better not be like a blue waffle thing.
No, it's not.
Don't look that up, people.
I'm assuming it's like a tadpole. But the main cover image is like, what's up with his face?
Yeah, that's something. Okay, moving on.
Oh, they made Stuart Little? Oh my god. Wow, my life has been changed.
So anyways, back to games. I'm trying to think of another good one. Did you ever play the Ed, Edd and Eddy game?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was okay. It was another platformer made by Behavior/A2M. I just always remember it because the graphics were cel shaded and they looked terrible.
Nice.
Like the character Kevin in the game, he looked so bad.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love 2000s era cel shading because it either looked really good or it looked absolutely terrible.
Or like complete garbage. I'm trying.
Like the Fairly Odd Parents games, those looked really good.
They did
for the time.
Oh yeah, we already did a podcast on that. You guys should check it out in our Nickelodeon games.
That was years. That was like a year ago, but
No. It wasn't a year ago. It was towards the beginning, but it hasn't been a year for us yet, sir. Hasn't been that time yet, sir.
Oh, by the time this comes out, it will be. But anyways.
Yeah. No. True.
I'm trying to think. So another subgenre too was Disney games.
Oh yeah.
Disney games were everywhere, and Disney games go all the way back to like the NES, with like the classics like DuckTales.
DuckTales. Woo.
I forgot how old that show actually was, to be honest.
Me, my rendition. It's so catchy. Once you start singing it, you just can't stop.
Yeah. But the game on NES is like an all-time classic platformer.
Yep.
That has an absolutely forgettable sequel.
Oh no.
I don't know anyone who's ever talked about the sequel, to be honest.
No.
But no. But they did remake it in like the early 2010s.
Oh really?
Yeah, for PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and it was like fully like hand-drawn animation. They got the actual original voice cast back to do all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a really solid remake. But there was games like that. I noticed that Donald Duck had a lot of really good games back in the day.
Oh really?
Yeah, he had. Though there was DuckTales, there was Quackshot, which was like this adventure platformer where you played as Donald exploring through like different areas.
Mm-hmm.
There was Maui Mallard, which was like Donald Duck as a ninja.
Nice.
Like there was a whole bunch. There was also like the Mickey Castle of Illusion games. Those were all solid too. Like Disney used to be on it when it came to games, even though I think a lot of those were actually made by Sega. Now that I think about it.
I'm trying to think like about some of my old like PC games that were licensed because I know I had a ton. I had a ton of Barbie games, but didn't we do a podcast on that?
Well, we talked about them for the most part.
Yeah, most of them we already talked about, but I know I had like a ton of licensed games for like the PC.
I always remember that you had those Jumpstart games, and you used to play the hell out of those.
Yeah, well, that's like all I had. Oh, this was what I was looking for. I need to click on this article right now because I've been searching for this. There's this PC game I had. It was what's it called? It was a Barbie game. But it was an iconic Barbie. What the hell?
Well,
they post a picture of it and it's not in the article, but it's linked in the article. What the heck is this?
I'm pretty sure the best Barbie game you had was Detective Barbie.
Yeah, Detective Barbie is iconic. No, this wasn't.
And the case
This
of the
isn't
carnival caper.
This isn't a Barbie game. That's why I'm wrong. Okay. PC.
What is it then?
Disney. I had a PC Disney Princess game, and I have vivid memories of it. What is it called? I just remember.
Oh, I think I remember what it was. This the Sleeping Beauty game?
No. Oh, I found it. Oh, I found it. It's so cursed. It's so cursed.
Which game is this? I have to remember now.
I need to. I can't. It's in another language. Oh, it's Disney Princess Fashion Boutique, and I just remember.
Oh no.
Just Google it. Put it in because the character models are just horrendous. Ti. Hold on, I'm finding it as we speak. Fashion. Okay. Like, it just had these really ugly CG character models.
Yeah.
And, like, they just were so ugly. They're so ugly.
You played some trash bag in the day.
I did. Oh, there it is. There's the box art I remember. Because it had.
God, I remember.
Oh
this.
my god! I mean, it was a game for 5-year-olds, but you could like
Ew.
dress up it. But isn't that a character model horrendous looking? Like that's horrible looking.
Yeah,
That's horrible. It looks awful.
That's questionable.
And I believe you could like put them in like these non-matching backgrounds, like these very like almost MS Paint looking backgrounds at some points, and it was so bad. It was such a bad game. But I was certain it was in my mind, and then I found it. I believe it had some mini games where you could like paint. There was like a paint mini game, but I think the whole main point was like you dressed up your really ugly, weirdly CG character model when nothing else is CG.
Yes.
And it was so ugly. It was so ugly looking. And I played the shit out of that.
You would play those games endlessly back in the day.
I would. I had a great time.
Although you needed my help with Detective Barbie.
Yes, I did. It's a hard game, but it was a good one.
You know that had sequels?
Yeah, I deserved them all. It was a good game.
I always remember the first one though.
Yeah.
The Carnival Caper.
It's the most iconic.
It had almost every name imaginable programmed into it.
Oh, yep.
I always remember that. Oh, that one was crazy. I'm trying to think of another iconic, like, license game from back then.
I don't know. We covered some good ones. I feel like we covered some, like, hidden, not gems, but, like, hidden hidden sewage, I guess you could say.
Hidden sewage.
Hidden sewage. Hidden crap. It's not a gem.
I mean, did we talk about the Simpsons games? Those are iconic.
Yeah, I feel like those, though, like, those could deserve their own podcast, so I feel like we should.
I mean, we probably mentioned them in the.
I feel like those deserve their own separate podcast.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like we've also mentioned them in the past, but.
Yeah.
I mean, those are up there, like. Obviously, there's, like, some notable iconic license games, like. Simpsons Hit and Run is an obvious one.
Yeah.
There was SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. You know a game is iconic when it gets remade in 2020 or out of nowhere.
That is true. True.
Dude, I platinumed that freaking remake too.
Oh my goodness. Well, you go.
I didn't even try. I finished the game and the platinum trophy popped up. I was like, oh. I was like, okay.
I win.
I just played the game. I was having a blast because it's a phenomenal game.
This is I still gotta buy that. I still gotta buy it someday.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get a gift card.
Maybe.
Christmas.
I mean, I'm looking through my collection now. If there's anything.
No.
Donald Duck Going Quackers. That's a fun one.
Nice. I know. I'm sure.
Grinch. Oh. There was a Grinch game too. That was pretty.
Doesn't surprise me.
Well, it was made by the same studio that made the Bugs Bunny game.
Oh, nice. was probably decent.
It's okay. It's not as good as the Bugs Bunny one. I feel like the Bugs Bunny one was like a
Excuse me.
one and done.
Yep.
I'm trying to think, like, is there like a, what would you say? Oh, the South Park games too. Those are
Oh, yeah.
Well, the new ones are phenomenal.
The new ones are phenomenal. They are
Not the not the so we got there's the first person shooter, and we also got Chef's Love Shack and South Park Rally. These are dumpster fires of games.
Oh no.
They're just not good. But
just
the
not
RPGs that have come out recently are phenomenal, and we should definitely play
Ooh.
them. And we could on.
Ooh. Well, sorry, I was looking up licensed game, and of course, One Piece pops up, and that's my shit. And this game actually looks pretty fun. What is this? One Piece Gear Spirit. It was on the DS. It looks fun. I mean, I don't even see what it is. Oh, is it an RPG?
It might be.
Or is it a Well, it kind of looks... I don't know. Oh, is it a card game?
I mean, Alex, I have this legend right here.
Heck yeah, you do. I still have my Game Boy Advance game. I still have to... What is this? Oh, it's a fighting game.
Oh.
Gear Spirit is a fighting game for the Nintendo DS based off the manga and anime One Piece. It was developed by Bandai. Oh, for instant. Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Oh, okay. It's like the first couple of arcs. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. That actually looks pretty fun. I might find that. There's a lot. We could do a whole podcast on the One Piece games once I buy them all.
Or anime games in general.
One Piece deserves its own.
Well, so you can talk by yourself for an entire thing as
Yeah,
I sit in the background going.
Hey, there's been
Uh-huh.
podcasts where I have done that. Bill. Ooh, this looks fun. What's this? One Piece World Seeker. What is this? An open world action game?
Okay.
I
calm
need
down.
a PS4 now, Bill. I need one. I need a PS4 so I can
calm
play
down.
this game. No, I need. It actually looks really fun. I'll laugh when it sucks. Like, I'll laugh when all the reviews say it sucks. Alright, I need to stop looking.
Well,
but hey,
so
we
I
made
guess
it to the
to
30-minute
this off-
mark.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't think we were gonna make it for this one, so I'm kind of impressed.
Well, it's pretty much just this was a really old school one because we're just basically bullshitting. But
Yeah.
honestly, out of all the systems that you can think of, what is probably your favorite go-to garbage license game console?
I'd have to say the DS had a lot of garbage.
The DS did, and the
Wii.
GBA.
Oh yeah, the
the
Game Boy
Wii.
Advance, the Wii. Like, honestly, that era, the Game Boy Advance, the Wii, and the DS
You'll
had a
you'll
lot of
notice-
garbage.
Licensed games kind of died off with the PS3 era.
Yeah.
Mostly just because, like, the PS3 those consoles were just so expensive to develop for.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a few bangers here and there, like the Toy Story 3 on PS3 and 360 is apparently a really good 3D platformer. Believe it or not, all the Cars games are really good.
Yeah. But I feel like
For some reason.
I mean, a racing game is a lot harder to mess up.
Well, you can screw a racing game. up
Well,
really
yes,
easily.
yes. I
mean-
agree with that.
I mean,
Yeah, true.
South Park Rally. I mean,
True.
but yeah, the Cars games were really good. But other than that, I'm looking at my PS4 library right now, and I can't see any licensed games.
Yeah, I don't think there really was any. I mean,
Other
besides
than-
like South Park,
I mean-
but like
Well,
that's,
yeah,
like,
besides
its
South
own
Park,
thing.
and like anime games.
Jump Force.
Oh, Cars 3 the game. That was really good.
Hmm.
And I guess like the superhero games, but other than that, yeah. They just stopped being profitable. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and SpongeBob, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely a product of its time.
Yep.
you could say. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was a conversation.
That was. I honestly, I'm kind of impressed. Like, we were able to get this much content out of it. Not that like I didn't think we, but I thought like we would be like just under an hour. So I'm pretty proud of us right now. We did a good job.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, that was fun.
It was fun.
And once again, yep. And once again, thank
Just
you for
kidding.
joining us.
I hated this experience, and I never want to do it. Just kidding.
It's been a year, and
Merry Christmas! Woo! No.
it's already long over at this point.
Well, not for us currently. So, Bill,
Not for us currently, but
Merry Christmas, Bill. Even though I'll see you potentially tomorrow, but Merry Christmas.
yeah. But anyways, guys, thanks again for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. The Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we are made using Anchor Podcasts. And you can also find the podcast on YouTube, usually a couple weeks or whenever I get around to it afterwards. And follow us. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and GoodPods. And next time, guys, we'll see you all later.
Wait. Also follow my cat, Young Cat Tilly, on Instagram. Thanks!
Alright. Well, anyways, guys, we will see you all later.
See you all later. Bye!
Bye.